I am back with another case study. This couple wants to retire at 55. I will be the first person to say, look, I know you want to retire early, but I don't want you to run out of money. So please work another year or 2 years or 5 years so you can actually spend what you want the rest of your life. And I will be the next person to say, why the heck are you working? I just don't want you to retire too early and run the risk of running out. And I do not want you to be mad at me when you're 75 with $12 million. I get that sounds weird, but there's a lot of couples that we work with that are going, why didn't you tell me I could have retired earlier? Why didn't my last advisor tell me I was in a good spot? They just told me to work till 65 because you never know. But to me, that's a big risk. The risk is you don't spend as much time with family, you don't prioritize your health, and if you're in a fine spot to retire early, why wouldn't you? Now, a lot of you know this, but a lot of my clients go, I want to retire early, and then they go, wow, I thought I did, but I actually like my job. I was just working because I thought I had to be here, and that's what I didn't like. So I just want all of you to know the earliest time work truly becomes optional. Now I'm going to walk you through a case study right now. I'm keeping their information private. If you don't already know, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president here at Root. So I'm going to hop right in. You can see my screen. This was the email this couple sent me. They said, Ari, my wife and I are big fans of your content, particularly your insights on Roth conversions. We have a 5-year gap between our expected retirement and the start of her pension, and we're currently managing our 529 plan to cover our twins' college expenses. As recent empty nesters, we think our situation could make for an interesting case study. We'd love to share our current numbers and give you a perspective. Recent empty nesters, you know what we call that here? Getting the leeches off the payroll. That's right. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this couple, you can see their income, $200,000 a year coming in the door from him, $165,000 from her. Roth 401k, you can see $152,000 of their 401k is Roth, $516,000 is pre-tax. A 457b, whoa, what the heck is that? It's like a 401k, just has a few differences. No match on it, currently $330,000. Traditional IRA, $930,000. I hope you guys have your financial planning brain turned on with me right now. Where are most of their assets? Pre-tax. Roth IRA, $15,000. HSA, $25,000. Some 529s for the leeches. And just kidding. And then superhero account. So I call the brokerage the superhero. That's the account that lets this couple retire early, because where else are we going to withdraw income from? Now, if they retire at 55, they can use the rule of 55 and different options that I'll explain in a little bit. She has a pension that's supposed to come on at 60 for $4,000 a month with a cost of living adjustment. Look at this couple, guys. They're trying to outsmart you guys. They think that I didn't know what a COLA meant. All of these advisors in my world always use fancy terms. It's like, oh, did you see the SPY and the COLA? And hey, just speak English. So one person was interviewing to work at Root, and they're like, yeah, I went to Harvard, and it's kind of a big deal. I was like, I don't care where you went. Can you speak English? And they're like, whoa. How dare you talk to me like that? I was like, yeah, this might not be a good fit. So this couple wants to work at 50. They also weren't a nice guy. Desired retirement at 55, and then they forgot to add $600,000 home, no mortgage, no debt. Cool. Good for them. Now, when I looked at their plan, I put it all inside of this academy. Now, if you don't already know and you want to play with the software you're about to see, it's all inside of the academy. No, you don't get one-on-one guidance, but this is a tool that if you want to be able to play around with the same stuff my clients use and what I'm going to show right now, you can do it. That's why I offer that. So you can see inside their plan's looking pretty good. So when I'm talking to a couple or doing a case study, I will start by going deep into how much would you love to spend? Because my number one pet peeve is when people go, I think I could get away with spending $5,000 a month. Actually, I could get away with $4,000 a month if I really only ate eggs. I'm like, retirement is not about getting away with anything. And I would rather you work a little longer and so you can spend on what you actually want the rest of your life. So when I'm looking at this couple, here they are. Now, they didn't tell us how much that they want to spend in retirement. So we're assuming it's $7,000 a month and they want to retire at 55. Well, the first thing is this looks pretty good. Like here they are, a couple, 48 years old, $2.4 million, on track to have $82 million, right? Wrong. $82 million will not have the same buying power as $29 million. Oh my gosh, still a lot of money. I get that. So what this couple can do is I will ask them, I'll say, hey guys, would you rather retire earlier Okay, retire earlier, or would you rather spend more? Which of those is more important to you? Generally, people tell me they want to retire earlier because let's assume this couple said, Ari, 7,000 a month, that's us dreaming big. Like that's everything I want to do and more. I'll say, great. What if you guys stopped working at 50? And they'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't think I could retire that early. And I'll say, it has a big impact on your plan. Instead of having, 29 million at the end, you have 21 million. So this couple might be like, oh my gosh, why would I ever keep working? Look at this. This looks pretty incredible. I'll say, yeah, what if markets don't do well? Not saying they're not going to do well, but if we just want to be conservative, what if our investments don't do well? You click enter. Let's see what happens here. And the reason I do this is, hey, they're still okay, but now they're passing away with $2.2 million instead of $21 million. So they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I click one button and that changes things in a massive way. And yes, it does. So the point here is there's a lot to this. It's powerful. I generally like to have this on moderate. Moderate, I'll show you guys right now in the investment tab inside of the Academy. The moderate tab is saying if you're getting on average 8% growth with 3% inflation, so a 5% real return, what you're going to receive is a 5% after taxes or after inflation adjusted return. So I like to leave it on moderate. You might do way better than that. I recognize that. Some of you go, Ari, 8%, but the S&P 500 averages 10%. I know, but you're probably not going to want to just have the S&P 500 in retirement. So the point here is, yes, I just like to leave it on moderate. The truth is, if you're in a growth portfolio, and if this couple's open to more of a growth portfolio, yeah, it makes a big difference. So right off the bat, the issue with their current allocation, this is a couple that is largely, I imagine, in significant equities, and they probably don't want 100% equities the rest of their life. So for argument's sake here, I am just going to put it on growth, so not 100% equities. And you can see they're still in a really good spot. It's not 29 million, but it's $8 million at age 90. So I'll start here and then I'll go, hey guys, we're missing a lot of stuff. And they're like, what do you mean? I'll say, well, how much would you love to spend? Like vacations, what would that even look like? And they're like, I don't even know. And I'll go, okay, just dream for me. How much would you love to spend? And they'll say, look, maybe 10,000 a month or 10,000 a year. And I'll go, let's just assume you're loving it. Okay. Let's add in vacations at 25,000 a year. Let's say you probably won't do it forever, but maybe you want to take kids and grandkids and all that fun stuff. So I'm just going to assume you take vacations every year until both of you guys pass away. I'm not saying you're going to do that, but watch what happens to the plan when I add that in. So all I did is add in, spend 25,000 a year. They're still okay. They're retiring at 50, and 5.2 million is what they're on track for. But the big variable is we don't know how much they want to spend. We have no idea. What if they want to spend 10,000 a month? If that is what allow them to do everything they want to do, well, they'd run out of money pretty around 88, and you don't want to cut it this close, trust me. So the big thing is, what if they go, Ari, 10,000 a month, that's what I want to spend. Beautiful. And I show them, hey guys, great. Would you work till 52 if that meant you could spend 10,000 instead of 7,000? And they might go, yes. So look, they're still on track for $3.7 million at the end. So it still looks really good. It just looks like a lot of lost value, and it's a scary number because you're like, look at what could have been. But it's just an anchor. So some of these things in here, you got to be careful with software. It can really look deceiving at certain times. So based on this couple, if they said we want to retire, they told me they want to retire at 55. Let's assume they want to spend 10,000 a month and 25,000 a year on vacations. That's unrealistic, but they probably do. Well, they're in a really good spot. They could probably make this happen. Now, I want to add in a few other things. So one of the things I'm going to add in here is what I'm just going to call, it could be a home remodel. You could do healthcare costs. You could do buy a new car, all that good stuff. I'm just going to call it healthcare. Now, I want to start it when they retire, and I want to end it, so it's going to be every year until they actually turn 65. Why? That's when Medicare turns on. That's a cost that is not currently in their plan. So let's assume for both of them, hypothetically, it's going to be $10,000 a year. Could be way more than that, but just hypothetically. Well, that makes an impact to the plan, but they're still okay. So why did I just show you that? A lot of you guys are worried about healthcare and the impact it will have. It's significant, but oftentimes it's an expense you want to think through. Now, what I do not want a couple like this doing is what's called goal posting. Hey, we said we're going to work till 55, but why don't we work till 60? Why don't we work till 65? Or, one more bonus, one more year. I'm going to tell my spouse she can retire. So a lot of couples are doing this. I just want this couple to know, when could they legitimately stop working? And let's assume they stopped at 53 and they spent $10,000 a month. This is where I'd have a conversation, say, hey guys, I don't care about this graph. That graph doesn't tell me anything. It looks pretty, but this is the graph I care about. This is the withdrawal rate graph. So I would tell this couple, here you are retiring immediately at 53, 5.4%, that's okay. And you can see here it's a little higher than I would like, and I'll explain why in a second. But if they start at 5.5% and it keeps growing up forever, that's not sustainable. 7%. What's happening here? Well, they've got healthcare costs. There's Medicare. We don't have Social Security yet. So there's no pension. So it's kind of like all up to them right now in their portfolio. And they have a brokerage account. And that brokerage account, well, that's going to have to last them because they can't touch a lot of their funds at 54 or 53 if they wanted to. So now their withdrawal rate's 6% or so, and then it drops. So why am I showing you this? Do you guys remember what the couple first told me? When we go back to the screenshot of the email, they said, Ari, we're a big fan of your content, particularly your insights on Roth conversions. Well, my first insight is, if I ask this couple, would you rather retire earlier, not do any Roth conversions, but enjoy your life, or retire at 55, do Roth conversions because it seems cool, It's like my neighbor didn't do a Roth conversion. Would you rather do that? And I bet they would say, we want to do conversions if they make sense, but are you saying they don't make sense? That's probably what they would say. And I'd say, I'm not saying they don't make sense, but I'm saying a lot of people want to do Roth conversions. And the reason they want to do it is if your $2 million grows to $4 million, and then $8 million, and then $16 million, well, it's going to grow and you're going to have a big tax bill. So how do you protect against that? You could start doing conversions, or maybe you retire earlier. Maybe you spend more. These are easy things that people overlook because they're always thinking just, oh my gosh, conversions and the next level planning. And they're trying to almost over optimize at points. So for this couple here, what I would encourage them to do is let's look at some Roth conversions if they were to retire at 53. Just for the fun of it. Let's just humor me, if you will. So they said they got a couple of leeches, a couple of kids. Just kidding. We'll call them kids. No more leeches. Kids are awesome. So let's assume their kids are in the 30% tax bracket in the future. Now, let's also just assume they want to do Roth conversions to fill up the 12% bracket. It's going to have a big impact, about $888,000 more dollars. Watch what happens if we keep going. Oh my gosh, $240,000. Why would there be less money by doing more Roth conversions? Well, what's happening in their plan is they don't need to do as many Roth conversions. They need to make sure they're spending enough. So in their plan, Roth conversions are going to be a big role. It absolutely will. I can just tell you that already. But it shouldn't be like a deciding factor. If this couple wanted to retire at 53, I'd go, look, this withdrawal rate is not sustainable forever, especially at the front. 7%, 8%, that's a lot, but watch what happens when Social Security is kicked in. Now you have a Social Security, now you have pension, and you're probably not traveling to the same degree, and your withdrawal rate is really low. I would argue too low. This is an example of someone I don't want mad at me going, why didn't you tell me I could have retired earlier when I was in a good spot? So when I'm looking at this withdrawal rate in this plan, based on this heavy spending of $10,000 a month and $25,000 on vacations and healthcare, if this couple would wanted to retire at 54, I'd have a lot of comfortable with that. Yeah, the withdrawal rate starts at about 5%. There's a few bigger years where I would ask them to possibly spend a little bit less or not take as many trips. And then all of a sudden, we've got a pension, and the withdrawal rate is still on the higher end, but I'm okay with it because it's going to drop for the rest of their life when Social Security and pensions are on in a large role. And now you see this little jump again at 75. Do you guys know what that jump is? That's required distributions. But I'm always cautious having conversations with clients and just green lighting it, or even in a case study, because what if they say, we're not open to investing in a growth portfolio. We want it to be conservative. Watch what happens to the withdrawal rates for me. OMG, it just shot way up and it's not sustainable. So they might have to work until 60 If they said, we are just not comfortable investors, we'd rather offset that, well, all of a sudden, now they're in a good spot again, but they just worked 5 more years. So ask yourself, what level are you comfortable with? What about your investing? This is how I would approach a case study for clients like this. A lot more I want to get into, but if they want to work till 60 or 58 or 55, this is the tool that I would use to help give them confidence. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If it was, it's more fun to retire early with friends. Please do like this video and share it with them. I want you to know the earliest time that work can become optional. If you're looking to work with our team here at Root, we do recommend working with us when you have north of $2 million. That's where we can add value to justify our fee. I am the weird advisor that says everyone doesn't need an advisor. It depends on the stage of life you're in and experience you're looking for. Some of you want to be an advisor in retirement. You love this stuff. Great. Don't pay us. Others of you are like, look, I want to make sure it's all optimized. I kind of want to have access to all this stuff here, but I don't want to have to be worrying about this. I want to just live my own retirement, and time is my valuable asset at that point. Great. That's why people like I exist, to make sure that your planning happens the way it should. Hopefully a helpful overview and case study. See you guys next time.